right, thank you everyone. We've got our economic update coming up. I wanted to introduce really quickly. Our moderator is Lou Young. He's a partner at Witham in New York City. And then we also have on stage Paul Maitre. Paul is the Senior Vice President of Regulatory Affairs for the National Auto Dealers Association. And we also have the privilege of having Rich Stocks on stage. Rich is the managing partner at Bassox Mercer Law Firm, which is focused on the representation of motor vehicle dealers over the last 30 years.
Thank you very much. Welcome everybody. We're going to get into this quickly here, cover the legal issues and some of the regulatory issues that are out there. I've known these two gentlemen for close to 20 years, maybe a little bit longer, and they're very insightful. We'll get into these hot topics. The most important question today is what's going on with direct sales?
More recently, what we're seeing is Rivian and Lucid going to some of these states, especially where Tesla has their 6 or 7 dealerships they're allowed to have, and saying, well, what about us? Let us open up stores as well. So that has been a battle that the dealer associations in several states have been fighting the last 2 or 3 legislative sessions. So far, so good, but those other direct sellers are not going to go away.
Paul, let's start with some of the public policy issues out there. On the regulatory and legislative side, what are some of the hot topics now in Washington?
Well, of course, from the legislative side, a very big one, and certainly one of interest to this group, is going to be the status of LIFO legislation. There's also efforts to try to address the whole problem with catalytic converter theft. There is all kinds of activity with EV tax credits, as we've all heard, and that continuing saga. And then we've seen a ton of activity from the Federal Trade Commission. A very active agency, a lot's going on there.
I wanted to mention, besides Ford, are there any other manufacturers out there that are keeping you up at night, so to speak, to reuse the phrase?
Yeah, I mean, right now Hyundai and Genesis is really probably keeping our phone ringing as much as any other manufacturer.
With that, I think we'll finish up. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. We're going to take a short break.